Association we go. The Warriors and Rockets head to the Bay Area for Game 3 with the series tied at 1 game apiece. Golden State hoping Jimmy Butler will be on the court tonight. He's recovering from a pelvis and deep gluteal muscle contusion. Butler was injured after a hard fall that you see there in the first quarter of Wednesday's Game 2 loss. We say howdy to NBA reporter Tim MacMahon. Tim, if I felt like Jimmy did, I would be sidelined for next season. So what are you hearing about Butler's availability for tonight, 3 days after his hard fall?
I mean, this is a decision that's probably going to be made close to game time. He was able to get on the first day, do a little bit of basketball. It's a pain tolerance issue. It's also just how well is he going to be able to move. So the Golden State Warriors, as Steve Kerr said, have some optimism that Jimmy Butler's going to be able to play, but he is questionable due to a pain in the butt.
Yeah, a pain in the Butler. Okay, so we're also monitoring Ja Morant and his hip injury after his hard fall. That was in Game 3's loss to the Thunder. What is his status with the Grizzlies' season on the line in this one?
Yeah, he's officially doubtful. I would say he is extremely doubtful. It will be an absolute shocker if Ja Morant is able to play. He would have to get off crutches, first of all. So, yeah, I would be just flabbergasted to see Ja Morant able to play today with the Grizzlies season on the line. There was a sliver of good news when he went and got the MRI yesterday. It is a contusion, so obviously good news that it's not a fracture, something much more severe. But he wasn't able to practice yesterday. He wasn't able to walk. So the idea of him playing today is pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, that's rough. The Thunder are 14.5-point favorites going into this afternoon's 3:30 Eastern tip-off. Tim, see you later.
Guys, back with me now, Landscape senior writer David Sens Jr. and NBA analyst Quentin Richardson. Let's talk Rockets Warriors. David, I'll start with you here. Without Jimmy Butler this series, the Warriors still have not broke 100 points. How can Golden State find a way to generate a little bit more offense to complement Steph Curry?
The Warriors got to figure out this Jonathan Kuminga thing. Like, this has been this elephant in the room for this team for the last few weeks now. He's been racking up DMPs going into Game 2, and then Jimmy Butler comes out, and the Warriors say, hey, now we need you to be the number 2 option behind Steph Curry. And he just did not look like he was engaged and look like himself. 0 for 6 and drives to the paint. He just looked like a guy who would come off the bench, hadn't played in a few games. So now you have a situation where you're asking him to say, all right, Game 3 at home, either you're the number 2 option, or if Jimmy Butler looks like 100%, you're not playing at all. It's a tough situation, but Jonathan Kuminga has to figure out a way to be ready and stay ready, because without Jimmy Butler, that Rockets defense is going to hone in on Steph and beg anybody else to put pressure on them. Kuminga has seen what Jimmy Butler can do when he goes to the paint. He can manufacture that and put a little bit more pressure on that Rockets defense.
Yeah, David, I'm unsure if I got that trust that you have in Kuminga, man. I don't know if he's there mentally. You know how it is to be in and out and being told you got to get in only if he's not going to play. I don't know where he will be. He didn't look ready to play, and he didn't look like mentally in it, like you said, the last game. So I look at Podziemski and Moody. I look at those two guys as guys that has had better games late in the season. Podziemski has the propensity to show that he could shoot threes and make threes and score. He's hit 30 a couple times. He needs to have a big game. This is back at home in the Bay Area, so that bodes well for Moody or Podziemski, because the role players play better in their home building with their crowd behind them. So I look for those two guys to be the source of more scoring. I'm just unsure how mentally Kuminga is really in it, because that's tough for a young guy to be able to navigate what he's doing and then get thrown into a series like this and be impactful.
Really quick, you guys, if Jimmy Buckets can play, if Jimmy Butler is good to go today, do you think the Warriors win? You, Q, first.
Yes. If Jimmy can play and be effective and look similar to how he's been looking and at a good form where he can play and be productive, I think they win.
What do you think, Didi?
I agree. I think if Jimmy Butler is out there on the court, putting that pressure on and playing that defense, he just gives Steph Curry so much of an outlet to be himself offensively. He makes such a huge difference. And the way that they've been playing defense against the Rockets has already been pretty good. I think that he just adds to that. I think they would win Game 3 if he's there.
All right. That's good news for Warriors fans. We don't know if Jimmy Butler will play yet, but as soon as we do, we will let you know. Lakers-Wolves next. Christine, you got the highlight.
Yes, let's go to Minnesota for this one. LeBron James and the Lakers taking on the Timberwolves. This one for the series lead. It's tied 1-1. We start in the third. Lakers down 4. James to the to Don, to Austin Reeves, to James. That's a two-handed slam to put the Lakers within 2. Under 5 in the third. Jaden McDaniels misses the corner 3. Doncic gets the rebound. Anthony Edwards gets the steal and then does that over the Don. Yep, Minnesota up 4. Embarrassing. All right, we go to the fourth quarter. Under 8 minutes left. Lakers trail 7. James beyond the arc. Make it a 4-point game. Next Lakers possession. James, another 3. It's now 100-96. A little over a minute later, same score. LeBron, he had 38 points to put the Lakers within 1. 5:30 left in the fourth. Timberwolves up 1. McDaniels with the steal, takes it up the floor. He gets the bucket and the foul. He would end the night with 30 points. JJ Redick, he ain't happy about it. Timberwolves up 103-99. Under 5 to play. Doncic over Rudy Gobert. It's a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Later in the fourth, same score. Edwards, 3. Yep. Just over a minute now in regulation. The Timberwolves lead 111-104. Edwards nails the step back 3, firing the crowd up. Of course, he's excited. Timberwolves win it 116-104.
All right, guys, here we go now. Let's talk a little bit about the Lakers, because the Wolves, they handled their business. But what stuck out to you about the Lakers and their issues?
Hey, listen, I feel like that they have to have 2 of the 3 guys. I mean, we've seen Luka have a good game, LeBron okay, AR okay. We've seen LeBron have a good game, and the same with the other 2. You have to have a game where you get 2 of these 3 guys playing really well, scoring really good together, and getting it going at the same time. If you can't do that, I don't know if they have enough to beat these guys. They've got defenders. They've got guys stepping up, scoring. McDaniels scoring 30 points. They're doing all the things they need to do to win this series.
So, DD, is 38 points from LeBron enough? Is that like the MVP kind of performance you're looking to see? Was it good enough? It resulted in an L.
It should have been good enough, and that's why the Lakers are going to, if they lose this series, they're going to regret that they did not capitalize on a vintage LeBron James performance where he was playing hard minutes, 41 minutes out there looking like prime LeBron. They needed other people to step up there and help them secure this win, because going forward, you have less than 2 days before you have to play a young Minnesota team that has all the energy in the world. Luka has a stomach virus. LeBron played all those minutes. Now you have to muster some sort of energy come Sunday, because they'll be down 3-1 otherwise. The Lakers just did not get enough help. I know that we're talking about not having all the big 3 playing. They still had 75 of the 104 points, and the rest of the team did not step up. They go back to LA down 3-1. They'll look at game 3 and the fact that we got a 40-year-old dude play 41 minutes, put up 38 points, and we could not close out that game will be the reason that they're suffering in this series.
D, don't this sound very similar to what was being talked about before Luka came there? It's the same problem they had when AD was the co-star. LeBron needed somebody who was going to carry the weight, who was going to be able to be the engine that pulled the team along and allows LeBron to actually ride their coattail a little bit. Luka has stepped up to that. Now with him being sick, he has to get back on that horse and start carrying him again.
Maybe this is like my mom having putting out. I'm worried Luka's going to give the rest of the team the stomach virus. That's what they don't need right now, being down a game in the series. Nonetheless, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, on another date. Thank you, guys.
Coming up, the Joker
in the Bay Area. Rockets and Warriors square off in a pivotal Game 3. All eyes on Jimmy Butler, who left Game 2 and is listed as questionable for tonight. With more on this game, here's the NBA Countdown crew.
We're getting you all set here for the Warriors and the Rockets. The series tied up at 1 game apiece, and possibly the biggest storyline going into this Game 3 is the status of Jimmy Butler. Steve Kerr said on Friday that he's relatively optimistic that Jimmy Butler plays, but I was relatively optimistic I would go for a couple-mile run this morning, and it didn't happen. We don't always get there. What are you watching most closely in this one, Perk?
Well, I'm watching to see who's going to be that second guy if Jimmy doesn't play, right? That second option. I'm looking to see, is it going to be a Jonathan Kuminga, who's, by the way, seems like he had lost his confidence, lost his trust in the team, in the coach. The coach lost his trust in him. Like, it's some turmoil there. And we see Steph thrive at his best when he have a bona fide second option.
Yeah.
And you need a bona fide second option when you facing these young goons in the Houston Rockets because they about their life defensively, right?
They are.
They got the elite defenders. So, again, that's what it's going to come down to. If Steph is struggling, you know, in the first quarter, second quarter, who's the guy that's going to pick up the slack scoring-wise?
And I'm not going to lie, it's an awkward situation for Jonathan Kuminga because he was told he likely would not play or be a factor down the stretch, especially with Jimmy Butler being there. And we're like, okay, we found a better lineup, not including you. And I know it's also hard to acclimate after injury, after so much time away. But you stole the words from me, but I just didn't sing the song. You know how they say, like, it takes two? I know we don't want to run up the bill here.
Make a thing go right.
But, yes, to make a thing to go right. And so far in this series, it takes two. Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, they were the closers in Game 1. Game 2, Alperen Sengun, I mean, he's having a breakout season. Baby Jokic, that's cool. Yeah. But Jalen Green was the story for me. If he's able to continue to shoot the ball well. He had 38 points. He made 8 threes. I think that tied a Rockets playoff high for made threes. If you think about it, like, if those two come to play, it might be too much. Literally, because the Warriors need that too as well.
It's also the non-Steph minutes, right? The Warriors were minus 12 with Steph off of the floor in Game 2, and Jimmy Butler only played 8 minutes in that game. But when we talk about experience in this young Rockets squad, now you're going back to Golden State. It's going to be a raucous environment. How do they stay focused and make sure that their offense stays flowing? Because we know their defense will be potent.
Well, one thing you can see is that they have leadership in that locker room. Jalen Green did what before the postseason? Went dark on his social media. Yeah. Struggled Game 1, stayed even killed. It was a whole lot of noise around H-Town talking down on him. He bounced back. So they have a culture. They have leadership. It's going to carry over into Golden State, especially defense.
They need to bring that shot, too.
Right.
They have to.
Of course, all of this hinges really on the status of Jimmy Butler here.
They're
we will be watching that closely.
My fault.
Water.
It's the end of the segment, friends.